Or here, let's go where the Robin Williams picture is, because that was my favorite actor.
Okay, cool.
I was going that way anyways.
Perfect. See, look at that. I make it work. And now you're just a voice.
Yeah, so AI is the exact prime door for new frontiers, and what shouldn't be the word of mouth in destruction to intangible, which is libel. The court terminology, which is where defamation in legal terms is when it befalls somebody that the word of mouth is destructive and inappropriate when you used what is 10 years ago intentionally just to 10 years later smack them down when they were doing nothing harm and they could have improved their life like a famous person. And they haven't done nothing for 10 years, but they made a mistake. And then you go and you throw it at them knowing that it's now hot. That mistake is in the air and nobody likes it, but that person is trying to make better and make do, has a family and stuff. That's libel in court. It's where copyright infringements fought a lot to keep things as they once are, as they shall be, if it comes from an intellect that can defend it upon the propensity of facts and what is before and following, it holds, right? So words can come in like bricks and Legos. You shouldn't see something you put together and all different, right there.
Oh, my bad.
All different.
Sorry.
All different things that you built, like a model. So here, we'll start right here. The model should just start seeing this brick and this brick and this brick and this part, like that. Different parts. So you pick each 3 window and go like that, and just make them all evaporate. Will that building stay there? No, but that's what words do when they keep fucking with shit that was already good as it is written. They just and put something else there.
Yeah.
Because it changes and alters the interpretation.
The whole picture
when
changes.
Then it necessarily look like it would change the definition.
Yeah, but it does.
Because even a fool can do that, thinking it'll keep the definition the same, but it look nice. It doesn't. It interprets the whole
It
thing
reshapes the whole
based on
thing.
the general consistency of the mind. And that's why a brand ambassador will keep that as a department for like magazines. They have a brand ambassador that every million, like 10 million print, let's say a tribe month. So 3 months, 10 million. That's 120 million. They have to make sure 120 million readers potential in 12 months. Don't fucking, boom, now there's no magazine, see? Because they had a following and there's a purpose. And the words and how they're put and how they're interpreted have to be skimmed and proofread. Proofreaders have to make sure the general consistency fit the general consistency of the mind, so interact with it. So interpreting is not only the intention of the person writing, its details for the first time is interpreted on paper. Proofreading is now interpreting equal, hopefully, to identify with what is want to be interpreted. Between the two, never meeting. The two minds. So interpretation is not necessarily anything. That's why it's IN in it for word part. It's because it's not tangible, but it's acceptable. Okay. Terminology expects us not to be libel, which is how you are in defamation in freedom of speech being so fragile as it is today. AI in making like Ariana, Eminem. I was just gathering. They made a dope ass song, but it was AI. You could tell it wasn't with royalties, but it comes in impact that. Why impact people that we know as role models? I'm 35. Rihanna's not that far apart. Eminem's 42. Okay, how the fuck is they going to continue their budget, their kids, and all that shit? Boom, AI shit just come through and slice through their own entire income.
That's crazy, right?
Because nobody stopped the foundations of now. We need to start making paperwork to ensure our copyright that we battled in the 70s. That was for us. That's the seed. We are the fruit. Now, when the fruit gets eaten from our generations after us, it stays juicy. It stays good and ripe. You know, so it makes them want more fruit. And that's how everything will stay making their fruit fields.
Because then the system works and the flywheel is going. People always want to keep doing it.
Shall gather that makes sense because AI is artificial. We are the official.
And then we become irrelevant. We still have to
We
survive.
are officiating. We are what makes it seem official because we give too much stock to what our mind is to make something that is a robot.
Yeah.
Isaac Asimov, okay. But AI is artificial and is only as intelligent as prompted to be intelligent.
You just quote Isaac Asimov?
So, and artificial intelligence is only intelligent up to its official capacity to be prompted by intelligent. We are. So if we give it prompts, but it will never be able to do like a baby does. We're this tall. It's like this big, pressing the off button when it told no. But it never did get to walk yet. But that moment it stood up and it was about to press the TV button, it started walking. Did it show any fucking fear? But free will in a room full of giants we are. That's what free will is.
Yeah.
It can never be prompted. It was prompted by volition because it saw. It was aware that it could do what we can do.
And then it had original intent.
Exactly. So AI can never have that.
Yeah.
That's the whole principle of
It's always secondary intent.
Yeah. Even augmented can't. It can only put together by us in our reality first, capturing what Getty's images is. The freedom of having clip art. So if something is impossible to do in the laws of physics, augmented reality can augment but cannot adapt or alter. Like alternate dimension compared to our dimension. Stays apart. So we have to defend shit because artificial could be the gap that is wrong. Not that it is wrong as a tool though. Keep it never, but if someone's toy, it could have been used. And what if I never existed to tell you this? Then nothing would have been came from this moment. Now watch this. It's a toy, but now I'm giving you it because I need people. They're the capacity to turn it and keep it a tool. They smack that toy maker because it can't. But it's how you would invade our countries. We are intelligent. Einstein chose that. So we got to keep ourselves intact, at least mentally, because invisible warfare will just become mind at the end, and that shit would be crazy.
So can I hear a piece of your spoken word? That would be a pretty sick conclusion.
If I can just cite something?
Yeah, you can read it. I don't care.
Hey, 234.
What's that?
It's 11th with 2344.
Is that your phone number?
2344.
Oh, the time. Oh.
On 11th day.
People keep putting their phone numbers in the video.
11th day times 4 numbers. Times 11th day is 44, 23, 44.
That's the time.
During the number, the reason why he chose that was mathematics.
No, I didn't know that. Are you in like the, what is it? There's like
Huh?
There's like, are you like a Nation of Islam guy? There's like the divine mathematics. You know what I'm talking about?
I am a uniform upon open-minded attachment. So if I come across it and I have an open mind as I am to learn it, I am able to, with my capacity of knowledge, put it together and understand it as interpretation and perception, which are both key points of validity that can never be debunked or argued or dissuaded because it already resides in what I have with the mental capacity. I cannot give it to you the moment I have fabricated it. I can't just fabricate, boom, smack yours of your own fabrication of what's going on in your own mental out of it and put two there at the same time. Like Freaky Friday, no switch. That doesn't make sense. Yeah, so.
Oh yeah, go for it.
Hold on. I just have to get this one out. Because I just had to reset this because I got locked out, forgetting my code. It's that new 72-hour shit, if your fingerprint, and I only did it to get a fingerprint. So it made me do the forward code to prevent 72 hours I didn't have my phone, somebody steal it, it locks it. But see here, this.
How you doing?
All right. So this is Poetizer, if you didn't know what the app looked like.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right here, see that?
Poetizer, okay.
So Poetizer, I have woven tether lesson 2 because it's like I've been just trying to keep the emails, which keeps the phone, So there's my first one, Pandan, like panda.
Panda.
And Peter Pan, see? Pandan. Yeah. It's my second one, Chaotic Distances, help capped all 20s, my third one.
Chaotic Dissonances.
Yeah, so, let's see. I like this one because it's really my lit. So like if there was a gang and it was my lit and the gang was brand ambassadors upon brand ambassadors of the future. So it keeps them taught and trained. Basics, fundamentals, brand would be the fundamentals, values, and virtues of a masculine order that's physical and a feminine substance that is substantially invisible. Your imagination. See? Okay, so that says my self-love unwavering inwards. Ethics from seen from birth to myself upon loyalty from motherly resolve. Place my own smiling teachings worthy liberty. By loving the pain I was gained by holding mortality. Traverse towards harnessing. My own to set eyes upon to forge focusing means to sympathy toughening my drive. Aim to instill minimum that being patience, finding solace in own fortitude of characteristics conducive to institute of solidarity of loyal loving strength, intriguing forth proper ties of capacity, unified upon rippling waves that transcend heights. Overcome mistaking time for only enough and stepping at advocacy, outpacing adversity against this world's gardening of cultivated use. Own chances of prosperity, opportunity in itself, a fight each after claims of grown and mature affluent tradability of such truly shown a team effort of shield-like stance that never letting the soul be fly keepings be less than if scenes are negatively driven. For no personal rights shall stem to let a worthy fellow of humane law, of self-respect and dignity, base honor, bestow low reflection of integrated affinity to, for, or upon. As every struggle, each hustle and all strive for much more, to leave legacy worthy upon the decade inbound C positive.
C positive, I like that.
And it's C with the plus sign.
But I like that though.
I wrote that August 27, 2023. And I guess I'll give you one more because I want to give it to my original. And it's like, this is if I had to write in a format, but I'm not instrumentation. I'm instrumentationalist, like musical theory. And my first one had 49 followers, 25 following with my prison outfit. You know? So it says, the bio says, I'm a poetic lyricist in the grandmaster flow of God potential, so I guess the equation of the math for what words I spoke gain to contain the fact I am flow. As that be real as I am, as I will it, I am pressure. Create a diamond to complete my God so master of nature to bear fruitful thongs of this vernacular is the very essence of great gifted and sifted through expected what a genius shall look like and we just do. And then I'm gonna take this off because of my breathing.
Yeah. You gotta go a little bit slower this time when you read it.
And that's what I need to know. Yep. So introduction of self as Yahweh. So interpretation. Introduction of self as I am. Introduction of self-made. See, made as I am. I can't change it. I'm a man. See. So those are how I saw it when I saw the trend self-made. I'm self-made. I played with it. Yahweh is still a verb.
Yeah. That's smooth.
If you are self-declaration, right? Introduction of self as Yahweh. Been fucking my life with my wife, the other called the world hasn't come yet. Your next I say to her, looking left after moving on from this here step. Car rightfully traversing past most tread. Quick to show me introverted fear, I guess they show dread. Must feel me near, no soul, they slippery. I think opposition must be queer. Try to oppose me. Guess they stay folding as I'm going back to her desire. Nope, you took too long. Watch, stand back, this will be more than an ordinary fire. I creep on silently superphotonic tires, excelling light speed. I definitely know what I want, I won't even think to get tired. Watch how I receive in exactly that which I need, so bow to your inherited, the truthful king. Go on to shaking knees and engulf these tools and gleam to feel toes curl with ease. Ooh, I'm cool, yet shh. Call me the fool, as I glow full of accomplishments of a fellow. The end result of my finale is multiple warped tunnels, laying my foundations of funnels into the mystic canals. Orgasms felt galactically loud, emanating a radiance of worldly potential. I'm so proud. Rebirth created the first Prince label before the first principle. Beings of chaos call me dad, that one fable. Call me the father of the primordial, their boss. I'm just bad. Don't comprehend, you're lost, you're just sad. At you, nah, I ain't mad. Every sentient says it's okay to be stupid, yet later stupids I spoke omni to existence. I will lay pipe harder and rougher in my supersonic. Sorry, so much. Hey, you got.
It's okay. You see, like I said, slow down.
I know this is good for me because I ain't done this and I need this. You know.
You're doing great. It's cool, man. It's cool.
I said. The end result in my finale is multiple warped tunnels, laying my foundation of funnels into the mystic canals. Orgasms felt galactically loud, emanating a radiance of worldly potential. I'm so proud. Rebirth created the first Prince label before the first principle. Beings of chaos call me dad, that one fable. Call me the father of primordial, their boss. I'm just bad. Don't comprehend it, you're lost, you're just sad. At you, not at. Nah, I ain't mad. Every sentient says it's okay to be stupid. Yet later, stupids, I spoke Omni into existence. I will lay pipe harder, rougher, and my super soaker's better because I promise to be even wetter. Bruce Lee's last breath, synonymous with my mental. Call me what in the fist of God's letter. This is essential. Carrying his tears, wept up and I watched all clear. I'm always above that. I've been ionically seared. I'm ablaze and clean. Call it godly might. Yes, right here, so call me power. Abel lost his fight. First to have it on darkness higher in the heights of the heartless night. So vampiric as I bite, yet always omni bright. Need more souls of things, devouring all failing to axe. My militia are brightly lit golden beings. So might feel that calm, my ammunition igniting. Go to conquer the goal, posting and pulling up on the main, only human objective that I have left to fold. To aspire to burning this rubber down to the diamond rim's perspective I'm bold. Fission infused into my lesson, heart snapped to attention. Call it enough pressure to crush, tearing the hardened carbon. Call me a true original atom. The world's full of what activities produce sin. I'm nothing like the Luciferian. Collecting my soul will not be achieved by him. Hope to never leave my legend, be that of my children starving. Only shall I leave with Yahweh over in the trash bin. Yeah, this is my first vernacular introduction. See this highly praised trend? See this highly praised chin? Call me properly raised then. My life, my wife, my untapped but not forgotten shadow friend. Call her twin. Held her from sight. Oh, you didn't see her? That's my bitch. Lights, camera, action. She definitely my best inspiration to create heaven. Know that since our singularity was 11. Call this the first binary to be complementary. Fully shaded, call me God, Yahweh's finale, the last lead of what was before and after living, which watch the final four never bleed. So I'm famous called your Armageddon. Get out the way, watch me, follow me, I'll lead you into my septum. When we arrive, good job, sit, stay forever resting. It's finally day 7. Now I've never been able to lose myself, keep it raw and authentic. And it's always been the pace, but it's there for the reader to set its own. Because anybody could. I don't believe in stealing my words as long as I'm alive. They're our words.
I hear that. I like
they're
that.
honorable to the words at hand.
Yeah.
Because it's just like putting them in they landed like that in the soup.
Yeah, in the soup.
Man, yo, bro, this is our soup, bro. You get it?
Yeah.
Or a family, you know, to the girl. But to sit there and say, that's my shit while I'm alive is the most cockiest shit because the words were before we ever existed. In a heartbeat.
Yeah, but you put them in the soup.
Yeah,
that's your recipe.
In a heartbeat too. If there
That's
was a
what I'm
bang,
saying.
there was an octave. There was just nothing outside to see the big bang. Bang. Still had an octave. Right? I mean, if we had to wait till we go outside the earth to see the earth bang and we're still in it, a small sliver.
Yeah, that's true.
Then what is C squared? But it had to be sound. I always try to tell people, C squared is more than 186,000. If it's 186,000 times 186,000, a new value, then it would be the fastest. But if black holes can escape to talk to you, as we hear them, but the light doesn't, so it doesn't beat the sound. It escapes it.
That's
It's
true.
just the moment the thing captures it and we have it as satellite, what hears it? It's the same decibel area that dogs hear the whistle that's lower than ours, brought to ours. And when we hear that, it seems demonic, whatever. That's just the quality we attach to that decibel.
Yeah.
And then exiting ours towards like jet planes in the distance. It sounds heavenly.
Yeah.
Two different, you know? So those two different parameters, we're in the middle. This is where the dog still has that whistle that we don't even forget or need one created on us. But black holes are always been able to do that. C squared.
I never thought about
C
that.
squared. Never mind, he said.
I
He
one more.
did say that.
No, you did say that.
No, Einstein said never mind special relativity before he died. He never disclosed what made him retract E equals MC squared at special relativity. He says never mind to that. And they kept running. Like they have an inch and gone a mile. They always do.
Yeah.
They just were given the gift of physics. As children, they ran an inch and never stopped, and now they're at a mile. And C squared was always sound. If a black hole could talk and stay black, and light can't escape, because it's why it stays holding all the color black. Inside it's turned. Because you have more color to hold, I have more color to give. I am more colored than your colored ass.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, upon interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Or reverse, I got all the black in my eyes because you're just white, and I just put it as I interpret. My brain holds your color, you know? It doesn't matter, the hue. But that is got all the color because if it doesn't have no color to give, it shall be pure black. It retains them. So heat outside the universe is why all color, where all the wormholes of all the black holes have put all the photons that are light source for the white spectrum. is outside the universe. For the capital D-A-Y in the Bible, to ever be visited by something like Gabriel, the oldest before H.G. Wells, time travel. If he's from a later time and talk to Mary with a message from what was a later time than ours, future. If 2020 says we can travel, in Australia's math said that, physicists published it. How do we do it? Our awareness is in the body. Your awareness is in your vessel right there. We call it temple right here. That's what travels, the awareness. If your awareness can do it in a dream and come right back to you when you wake up, that's the proof. You only need it.
Do you have anything you want to say to people under the age of 10 years old?
Be inspired. Be inspired without mimicking what I said tonight. Unless you had your mom especially. But always know, if you're not as you think your dad is strong, be as strong as you think him to be.
I got that.
Without judgment or evaluation, when I say that, thing is ended right there, you know?
Yeah.
Because it can inspire the father, or it can inspire them as
Oh yeah. Peace. What was your name?
Phoenix.
Phoenix.
My name is Christoph Luvat, though.
You're Russian?
No, it's Norse for wolf cub in English, Luvat. And Christoph is because of how my social security paperwork is, without the use of my birth certificate.
Well, it's nice to meet you, man. I'm Messiah.